Okay, we're talking about economic corridor programs and project of IMTGT, maximizing economic network externalities. There are five priority economic corridors in IMTGT. Each corridor has its own unique characteristics and defined by its geographic location and comparative advantage. However, what is common among them all is the deliberate policy to enhance connectivity and promote industrial cluster and cross-border production network along the corridors. This is done with the specific goals of maximizing economic network externalities along and beyond the corridors. The IMTGT's corridors therefore represent a confluence of regional economic integration and inclusive growth. In this context, IMTGT will identify In this context, IMTGT will identify, develop, of implement programs and projects that serve to connect the right economic agents In this context, IMTGT will identify, develop, and implement programs and projects that serve to connect the right economic agents in and outside of the corridors, including the MSME and MSES, which are the mainstay of IMTGT economy, both in terms of number of business establishment and deployment generation. Okay, I will explain about IMTGT corridor. First, extended Songkla Penang Medan corridor. Okay, key characteristic: EC1 hosts some of the most agriculture-rich provinces in southern Thailand that trade with Malaysia, Sumatra, and Singapore, and plays an important role in the supply chains of traded goods outside the sub-region. EC1 covers several provinces in the border areas of the two countries and will serve as the anchor of clustering major economic activities through the development of industrial hubs and special economic zones. Okay, number 2, Strait of Malacca corridor, Penang Port, and Klang Malacca. Key characteristic in this corridor is due to the proximity of this corridor to Sumatra, there is considerable potential to complement the various stages of the production chains with the province, especially if a series of economic and industrial zones are established at strategic points along the corridor. Okay, this corridor has the potential to serve as a food, especially for halal food. Okay, since a number of food terminals and integrated food centers are being planned with the corridor. Third corridor, Banda Aceh to Medan, and then Palembang. This corridor, which is part of ASEAN Highway Network, is of critical importance for developing Sumatra, as well as an important building block for further enhancing connectivity within the IMTGT sub-region. Its development is closely linked with that of the other three corridors. Okay, and the last, Malacca Dumai Economic Corridor. This IMTGT for the key what the key characteristic is This maritime corridor has a long tradition of freight and passenger traffic between Sumatra and Malaysia. Dumai is a gateway port of Riau province, one of the richest province of Indonesia with abundant palm oil plantation and onshore oil and gas resource. Dumai is principally a palm oil related export with general cargo, fertilizer, cement and rice being the main import traffic. Okay, and the last, Ranong Phuket Aceh corridor. We talk EC5. Okay, the EC5 characteristic is the Ranong Phuket. Okay, Ranong Phuket Aceh corridor is envisaged to enhance the connectivity between Sumatra and southern Thailand, primarily through maritime mode. Connectivity will be established through the development of facilities in key port in Sumatra. Okay, IMTGT, the key corridor programs and projects of IMTGT will continue to accord high priority to implementation of programs and projects that aim at expanding and enhance the physical connectivity of these corridors, particularly in areas of transport, ICT, and power connectivity. To support infrastructure development, IMTGT will tap into emerging funding vehicles such as the Asia Bond Fund, the ASEAN Bond Market Initiative, the ASEAN Infrastructure Fund, and Infrastructure Investment Bank. IMTGT will also encourage more private sector investment in infrastructure in the corridors through putting in place robust public-private partnership frameworks characterized by clear risk-sharing arrangement and project development. 28 equal attention will be given to programs and projects that aim at addressing the software deficits of the corridors as well as programs of the hardware and software of the corridors. Among others, this will include projects to streamline the CIQ rules, regulation and producers along the corridors. Okay, the next category of corridor programs and projects are those that contribute the development of industrial cluster and production network along the corridors, and expansion, diversification and sophistication of manufacturing, agribusiness and tourism value chains. This includes projects on developing special border economic special economic zones, as well as projects on enhancing skills and technology innovation. The latter may involve collaborative activities between the government, business, civil societies, universities, and research organizations. Now we talk about underpinned by result-based monitoring and evaluation. IMTGT acknowledge that producing quality output is simply not enough. In order to realize Vision 2036, IMTGT project must be able to deliver results close to where the intended beneficiaries are allocated. To accelerate the strategic shift toward result, IMTGT will mainstream the result-based monitoring and evaluation system as outlined in the IMTGT project manual. The system will capture the delivery of project outputs, outcomes, and impacts. Better decision making will be achieved through focusing systematically on the whole result chain from input to impacts. Okay. Vision 2030 will be revived every 5 years to monitor progress and evaluate outcomes and impact with a view toward fine-tuning and enhancing the sub-regional cooperation and integration effort. Okay, thank you.